Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. We have an amazing tank today. I can't wait to show you. This is the Mendeleev tank, made in Russia. The designer was Vasily D. Mendeleev, and the name was derived from that. Designed in 1911 through 1915. The specifications for this approximately 173.3 tons, which is almost as heavy as the mouse. The length was 13 meters, 42 feet, 8 inches with the gun. The hole is 32 feet, 10 inches, 10 meters. That's the hole, okay? And the height was 4.45 meters, 14 feet, 7 inches. Machine gun turret up. With the machine gun turret lowered, it's 3.5 meters, 11 inches, 3.5 meters, 11 feet, 6 inches. The crew of 8, which is lower than the T-35. The armor was 150 millimeters, 5.9 inches in the front. Sides in the rear, 100 millimeters, 3.9 inch. The main armament was a 120 millimeter Canet gun. This thing could hold 51 shells. The secondary armament was a 1x light machine gun, and the engine was a petrol gasoline engine taken from a submarine, which created 250 horsepower, 190 kilowatts. The power to weight ratio was 1.44 horsepower. The suspension was pneumatic piston suspension. The maximum speed was 24 kilometers an hour, 15 miles per hour. This was made in 1911. And Russia didn't really have tanks. They didn't know how to build them. The British and the French were the first nations to have tanks. They had the Mark I, and I forget the French tank. Well, the Russians designed a couple tanks, and this Mendeleev, this Mendeleev tank dude just decided to make a tank. You guys haven't seen this yet. It's a it's a rectangle. This tank is it's seriously a rectangle. I don't know how to explain it. No sloped armor at all, unless you count the barrel or maybe the top machine gun, maybe. By the way, this is an unfinished build, so if it does look bad compared to the other tanks, well, that's why. Man, I am so excited to get on this tank because this is completely different from any of my other tanks. I haven't added armor yet, so it's not like my T-95, but hey, this thing is better than the T-95. So if I click F here, so mobility is not the best. It's better than the T-35, not in real life, but in Build-A-Boat, my version. But this gun, if you look down the barrel, there's TNT in a magnet, and this is amazing. So Q and E. E for down, Q for up. This thing can traverse up and down. R and T moves it side to side just a tiny bit. Now WHD for the motors, and this tank is different because they are not underneath the tank. They are up on the roof or the ceiling. This thing has a lot of room. Let's check out the breech here. So yeah, the tracks do intersect into the hole. I just copied them onto this, which, as you can see, they weren't really placed well. So motors up top. The breech here is controlled by a servo and a wheel that goes at 0.5 speed with the torque all the way up. The servo is also that, except it rotates 20, and its torque is also at max. Breech is super simple, a big box with a magnet with a open breech system where you can place TNT. I was going to place a TNT reloading system, but Yeah, and it didn't work. I was also going to place armor all around this, but it didn't work. It was too heavy, and I didn't have enough motors to make it run. So let's pick a target to shoot. Oh, all right. PvP mode on, isolation off. Space. Can you? Alrighty, I can't. I don't know. I don't know how much damage this thing can deal. I just know that it's 25 dynamite. Oh man, this is such a cool build. I love it. So yeah, there's no detail on this whatsoever. The only cool thing about this is the barrel and the shooting gun. Ah, yes, there's the tank. Unanchor it. So, looks like his is a bit low to the ground. Okay, we're gonna click insert. Firing. Yes! It's amazing. This is amazing. Oh yeah. I absolutely love this. This is probably one of my favorite tanks, not from the detail, but just from the sheer size and the sheer power of this gun. Oh man, this is amazing. So the Mendeleev tank was an early tank designed by a Russian naval engineer, Vasily Mendeleev, son of Russian scientist Dmitry Mendeleev, who created the modern periodic table. Believe it or not, the vehicle was envisioned by Mendeleev during his working at the Kronstadt Marine Engineering School in St. Petersburg, Russia. From 1911 to 1915, he purported purpose was I don't know what I'm saying, but his main purpose was he wanted a land battleship, but of course the T-35 obviously beats that. Um, immune to all enemy fire at the time and able to cross large battlefields while providing heavy artillery support and troops using a 120 millimeter gun, which is a pretty big gun. The proposed tank was one of the heaviest tank designs of all time at 173.3 tons. It would have been nearly the same weight as the World War II German Panzer 6 or 7, I don't know Roman numerals, Mouse or Maz, super heavy tank. So this is a pretty darn cool tank. So I'm so glad I built it. And I just wanted a workable gun so I can counter my friend Roast Meef. He has a Tiger H1 that is super huge, and it has a workable gun. So I wanted a workable gun so I can counter his attacks. So the design of the Mendeleev tank was complete rectangular construction with its main gun at the front and the machine gun turret mounted to the roof just aft of the middle and the tracks. Protruding directly from the bottom of the hull, the tank was supposed to have a crew of 8 operating it. I don't think this actually served in the war, like World War One. So the armament is, of course, the 120 millimeter, 4.7 inch candidate naval gun with 51 rounds of ammunition mounted directly on the front of the tank, much larger than the common calibers of tanks in both World War One and World War Two. For comparison, the armament of the British Mark V tank was a 57 millimeter QF 6-pounder 6 CWT Hotchkiss gun. The gun was able to swivel left and right, just like my tank, and it could also elevate and depress. In addition to the gun, it was supposed to feature a recoil system rather to be placed on a fixed rigid mount a concept very advanced for the time. The Kanet gun would be used to provide direct artillery fire against enemy units, making the Mendeleev tank essentially a mobile artillery platform. The tank was also equipped with a light machine gun installed in the turret at the top, which I did tell you. The propulsion system, that's the word I'm thinking of. Mendeleev designed a novel form of tracked propulsion. English. I don't think I can just say that word because I'm not the smartest. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Propulsion of the vehicle that differed vastly from the other designs at the time. This plans for the vehicle featured a continuous track whose current circumference of English. I don't know. This would have allowed a very stable traversal of rough or uneven terrain, as well as Mendeleev's idea of allowing the tank to completely lower the hull into the ground. Uh, During a tank or turning the man. I don't know. It's a Mendeleev tank. I'll get into history in the next video if I do one. So this is the Mendeleev tank. You already know a bunch of stuff about it. I can't speak English because I'm talking too fast. I'm just so excited. This is such a cool tank. This dwarfs my T-35, but is not as big. It's taller, but it's not as big as the T-95. So, yeah. Also, the machine gun for mine is also misplaced. I'm sorry about that. I'll get to details later, and I'll do a part 2 on this. And then I'll do a tank battle with this, which should be very interesting. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. Also, share this with your friends if you want. I would like you to check out Martin1018. He's the person who gave me the idea of the last video. Can I shoot this? One final shot of this weapon. Man, this is such a cool tank. I love it. It gets my adrenaline up, Gets me pumped up. Maybe before school I just need to spawn this and build a boat, and I just need to get ready for school. It gets me pumped up for the day, I don't actually go to school. I go to online because it's simpler. I mean, it's very hard, and I have to do very hard work. Okay, somebody. No one's gonna accept you. You're a weirdo. You're not subscribed to me. Man, so this is more like a 150 millimeter. Oh, the gun fell over. What? What happened? I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'll shoot it next time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, bye. I should have ended this video a long time ago.